So here we will discuss about the strength of each planet placements. So again, this will be similar to the Vedic astrology based relationship and placements. So what we will discuss here is the exaltation and debilitation of the planets. What is exaltation? Exaltation means in that specific degree and in that specific Rashi, that specific planet will be exalted and its properties will be very much exalted in that specific degree. So exaltation is a positive sign and debilitation is a negative sign. If there is a debilitation of a planet in a specific sign and a degree, that is considered that planet is less powerful, and if it is less powerful and its effects will be negative mostly. So with respect to Prashna, and if a planet is debilitated, that's considered as a negative sign, and if it is exalted, that's considered as a positive sign. So here, let's start with the Aries, and the Lord is Mars for Aries. So for Aries, the exaltation point is for Sun. If a Sun is placed in Aries at a 10 degree, that's considered as an exalted sign. So Sun will have its maximum power and performance at this specific degree. And for Saturn, this specific point is a debilitation point, and for Saturn will have very less power at this specific 10 degree and Aries, where the Lord is Mars. And what we mentioned here is the type. The Prashtodaya means the Aries sign itself is called Prashtodaya because it's how the Saturn zodiac is rising from the ascendant. If it is rising with head first, for example, the Taurus, the head will be the bull, the horns of the bull, and if it is rising with the horns of the bull first, and that's considered as a head first Rashi. If it is rising with the head down, that's considered as a hinder first Rashi. And here Aries is Prashodaya, that means it's going downwards. It's the back, the hinder part will rise first. And for Taurus is the same, is Prashodaya. And for Taurus, the exaltation point for Moon is 3 degree in Taurus. And cut. Start. So for Taurus, whose lord is Venus and is the Prastodaya sign, as I explained, Prastodaya means the rising from the horizon. It starts with the hinder first. The back of that specific Rashi will rise first. So that's why it is called as Prastodaya. And one important point is, in general, in Prashna methods, Prastodaya, the Rashis which is hinder first Rashis, back first Rashis are considered as a negative sign, and if it is head first, it's considered as a Shirodaya, it's a positive sign. So for Taurus, so for example, if in our case we have learned about the relationship between the planets, and if a planet ascendant is Taurus and that's a Prastodaya, that's one negative sign. And if that ascendant has some connectivity to cut start if the ascendant has connectivity to Moon, that is considered as a double negative. So one is from the Rashi sign, it is negative, and from the planetary perspective as well, it's negative. Start. So as we discussed, here we discuss about the specific Rashi properties and the exaltation and debilitation of specific planets. So the first is the property, the three properties which each Rashi holds. the Prishtodaya, which is back first, and Shirodaya, which is head first, and the Tiryak is horizontal. So basically, what it says is each Rashi has a specific symbol, right? Taurus is in the symbol is bull, and for Gemini it's twins. So if in the horizon, if it is rising with the head first, for example, Gemini will rise with the head of the twins first, and that is called as Shirodaya, and that is considered as a positive aspect. And if it is rising in the horizon from the back first, and for example the Taurus, it's a sign of the bull, and it will rise with the back first in the horizon. In the rising ascendant, you'll see back of the bull first, and that is considered as a bit of negative side. So these three strength and types of the set specific rashis, the back first, the head first, and the horizontal, which we call it as in the book it is written as Pristodaya, Shirodaya, and Tiryak. And in short, I mean, this specific strength of Rashi will be considered during the query. So for Taurus, cut. Start. So let's start with Aries. For Aries, the type is Pristodaya, which is back first. And one specific thing about Aries is the exaltation sign for Sun is in Aries, and debilitation sign for Saturn is Aries. So that means if Sun is placed in Aries at a specific degree of 10 degree, and that at that certain point, Sun has its full powers, and Sun is very powerful at that stage, and Saturn is debilitated. That means Saturn doesn't have his power at that specific point. And cut. Okay, hope I'm clear about the Aries part. For the Taurus, it's also a back first Rashi, and the exaltation sign is for Moon at 3 degrees, and there is an exaltation of Ketu and Rahu, and that's not clearly mentioned in the book, but this can be considered as a debilitation sign for Rahu. And for Gemini, there is no exaltation and debilitation. It's just a Shirodaya planet. That means it's a head first planet. It's a positive sign. For Cancer, it's a exaltation for Jupiter and debilitation for Mars, and it's a back first Rashi. And Leo is a head first Rashi, and the Lord is Sun, and it's considered as a better placement for ascendant. And for Virgo, that's a Shirodaya, that's a head first, which is a positive thing, and it's an exaltation side for Mercury, and Venus is debilitated here. And for Libra, this is Shirodaya, and exaltation for Saturn, and debilitation for Sun. If you see, a planet is exalted and debilitated at exact from the 7th. If you see Sun is exalted in the Aries, but 7th from the Sun, Libra, it is debilitated. And likewise for Saturn, Saturn is debilitated over here, but in Libra, it is exalted. And likewise for Scorpio, so Shirodaya Rashi, and it's a debilitation sign for Moon because its Moon was exalted in the Taurus at 3 degree. Similar for Sagittarius, it's a backwards Rashi, and for Capricorn is exaltation for sign for Mars because it's exalted. It's debilitated Mars in the Cancer. It's 7th to that is exaltation. When I say 7, it's if you consider Cancer as the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7th. It's direct opposite to this sign is what exaltation debilitation means. Aquarius is a head first Rashi, and the Lord is Saturn. And the Pisces is a horizontal Rashi and exaltation for Venus. So this is certain strength and type of each Rashi and the planets. Strength is considered using the exaltation or debilitations, and the type is considered using the head first or the back first or the horizontal, how that a certain Rashi is rising from the horizon. And with that in mind, now combine what we studied in the last section. right? We studied about the planetary friendships, and we now know about the strength of each planets, and we know about a certain specific type of each Rashi, whether it's a backwards, head first, or horizontal. Now we know the three things. So, okay, now query is placed before the astrologer, right? And he came to know that so the ascendant is Sun, and the Sun is placed in Aries. Okay, that means what? That means Sun is exalted. It's a positive sign. Sun is fully powerful over here. But Aries is a backward Rashi. That's a negative point there. Okay, so here we cannot have a direct answer here, but here we have combined plus and minuses. Okay, one is a good thing, other is a minus thing. As I said, we need to consider multiple detailing while answering the question. So this is one way how it is done. Now, for example, let's consider Mars, right? If the ascendant lord is Mars and Mars is placed in Aquarius, now what? Aquarius is a good placement, good Rashi because it's a Shirodaya, it's a head first Rashi, it's considered as a positive, but for Mars and Saturn, that's an enemy planet. For Mars itself, that's not a good placement, but the Rashi is nice. Okay, so the Rashi placement is good, but the planetary friendships are not that great. You see, so astrologists interpret such nuances in a different way. Sometimes they will interpret that okay, the questioner is question is correct, but the probability of that happening might be less. That might be because questioner might be prepared well enough, so the Rashi is good, but the current timing, the current relationship between the planets, the query planet, and where it is placed is not good. So the astrologer will deduce how the answer is framed based on these certain relationships. Stop. Start. Hi there. So